Well, this morning we continue reading in our daily reading schedule in the book of Deuteronomy, chapters 10, 11, and 12, and Mark chapter 16. And boy, I have just been challenged the last few days as we've been reading in the book of Deuteronomy. And one of the questions that has surfaced in my own mind and thinking, as I feel like the Lord is challenging me with, is this question: has the Lord changed? And Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 16 is the verse that kind of prompted that question. Therefore, circumcise the foreskin of your heart and be stiff-necked no longer. Now, of course, this is Moses speaking to the children of Israel, God speaking through Moses to the children of Israel. And boy, what a tremendous challenge is. And throughout these chapters, there is this clear indication of the responsibility of the children of Israel, what they are to do and not to do. Their devotion to the Lord is to be exclusive and thorough, without any compromise. And their exclusivity is all inclusive. No other gods. Complete separation and absolute devotion to the Lord. Complete separation from the world around them, and also absolute devotion to the Lord. So that prompted this question: has the Lord changed? He is indeed the same, as his word says, yesterday, today, and forever. So in this day, this age of grace that we are living in, has he changed his requirements for serving him? Of course, we don't offer the sacrifices and go through the rituals that they did then, but have his requirements for devotion changed? Are we to be less devoted today? Is it okay if we are? Can we live on what one person has called cheap grace and expect the blessing of God? Or do we believe we can escape the curse that accompanies living as though we don't believe, being like the world and living in its ways? Well, those are important questions to think about. I'm concerned that there are many, I think, who live as what one person called practical atheists, who say they believe, but live as though they don't believe. I'm equally concerned that I could be one of those people very easily. I don't want to fall into some legalistic walk. I can remember back in the day, we had a list. If we were going to be a part of the church, we couldn't do any number of things that were listed on our membership application. And we became quite legalistic, and we externalized our holiness, and that's not what it's all about. And I don't want to fall into that, but neither do I want to live as though God doesn't exist, as though he isn't the most important thing in my life. I don't want to misrepresent him. I don't want to preach a gospel that is no gospel at all. This life he has called his disciples to, it isn't always an easy life. It isn't all peaches and cream. There are thorns on those roses, and there are things that come along that make life difficult. Life happens that way anyway. So, but he's called us to live a life of separation from the things of the world. Come out from among them and be separate, Deuteronomy says, and Paul quotes that in his letter to the Corinthians. So it isn't a life of ease, of going the way that we want to go, all the while proclaiming a relationship that doesn't really exist. That's not what God has called us to. Not to be practical atheists. No thanks. I want to choose to follow the Lord with all of my heart, soul, mind, and strength. How about you? Boy, that's where the place of blessing, that's where the place of peace is. It isn't necessarily an easy life. There are challenges because the enemy of our soul is relentless in his effort to destroy us. But we still have to trust and obey, walk with the Lord, trusting and believing his word so that we can be the people that he's called us to be. So, practical atheists? Well, it's an important question to ask ourselves. Has God changed? I'm thankful that he is the same, then we can count on that. Man, there's great hope in that, and I'm thankful for that today. So may the Lord richly bless you as you count your blessings and are thankful to the Lord for all that he has done and continues and will do in your life. Amen.